Okay, let me make sure it's on speaker view. Is it on all good right there? Yep. Okay. Um, Welcome everyone. My name is first of all, I'm just so grateful to be here with you all tonight. My name is Dr. Maria Kettler. I have been a doctor of chiropractic for 28 years. My husband, who is also on this call, he's also a chiropractor. We have a very busy multidisciplinary and integrated practice in Northern California's wine country. We have two amazing adult children, and I know that every mom says that about their children, but I truly am just so blessed to be the mom of two wonderful humans. A little over 7.5 years ago, we were introduced to a company called LifeVantage. And ever since that time, we have just seen incredible treatment outcomes with our patients in these anti-aging products. So Joe and I were asked last year, we're honored to be included on the scientific advisory board for LifeVantage. So we've served for the past year. The SAB, or the Scientific Advisory Board, is a collection of 10 doctors internationally who help to further and share the science that you're going to learn about tonight. And I am so honored and so excited to be here with another member of the Scientific Advisory Board, a fellow doctor of chiropractic, Dr. Jessica Bueller. Dr. Jess has been a chiropractor for 18 years, and she has additional certifications in an allergy elimination technique and in acupuncture, which I just think is so cool and so congruent with chiropractic. She has a waitlist practice in what she says, the middle of nowhere, South Dakota, where she lives with her husband, Matt, and their 5 children. So, Dr. Jess, thank you for being here with us tonight. If you could take it away, we'd appreciate it.
Awesome. Um, so thank you all for being here, and thank you, Dr. Maria, for being here on your birthday to share this blessing with other people. And I hope that by the time you are done, you are grateful that you took the time to watch this webinar. I am truly grateful someone had the courage to share it with me. And what's interesting about activation is you will only hear about this if someone has the courage to share it with you. So there are thousands of supplement companies and only one activation company. And with activation, we look to get to the root of issues because we know that if we can create healthy cells, they will lead to healthy tissues, and healthy tissues will lead to healthy organs, which will lead to healthy organ systems, and then to a healthy body. So we don't claim to treat, prevent, or mitigate any symptom, condition, or disease, nor do we want to. And that's in complete alignment with what we already do as chiropractors, because we've been talking for years about the universal intelligence or God, a greater power outside of us, and the innate intelligence, this inborn intelligence, God within us, the Holy Spirit, and how when we can remove that nerve interference, that innate intelligence will do its job. And with activation, we are looking to really activate that innate intelligence from the cellular level by using God's pharmacy to turn on God's pharmacy inside our cells. So we literally take it to make it. We empower our bodies to make the things it was once making really well. But then as time goes on and we get exposed to multiple things, extra stressors, what in chiropractic we like to call the 3 T's: traumas, toxins, and thoughts. These things start to accumulate and they add up, and we don't make the things like antioxidants, proteins, peptides, enzymes, and such that we once made really well. So with LifeVantage, it starts with yellow. And we say that because it started with this little yellow tablet, Protandim NRF2. And when you take Protandim NRF2, you start making your own antioxidants again. There are thousands of antioxidant supplements known to man. Yet none of them have been able to neutralize the free radicals that we produce at a rate to substantially affect oxidative stress. None of them. Things that have been studied are things like vitamin C, vitamin E, superfruits, super greens, you name it. And so when Protandim NRF2 came about, and in 2003, we had one peer-reviewed published study that showed we could lower oxidative stress on average 40% in 30 days, a claim that had not been made at that time and still hasn't been made yet by anything else in humans. We increased superoxide dismutase, an antioxidant enzyme, by 30%, and glutathione, another amazing antioxidant enzyme that our bodies produce, by 300%. And we increased catalase by 54%. It's 5 botanicals that work up to 23 times better at activating NRF2 when combined in their exact recipe than they do when used alone. I'm pretty sure you could look at those bars and see that you want the big orange bar, not the little bar, when it comes to activating your cells, right? So you can't just go buy these ingredients, and you can't be taking those ingredients separately and get the same synergistic benefit. So activation is disrupting wellness because supplements are looking at adding something. They're temporary and they're limited by our dosage and our body's ability to process them. But activation is like a thermostat. It's activating those pathways, turning on the genes, optimizing the cells. It's literally like fine-tuning a piano. So supplementing, we are taking something like oranges, blueberries, like I said, superfruits, super greens, vitamin C tablets. But with activation, we are literally turning on the body's ability to make its own antioxidant enzymes at a rate of 1 million every single second. So we can literally fight back against free radical damage.
And why not consider his personal circumstances
very quickly?
If everyone can please mute themselves, that would be wonderful. Thank you.
Next, you can go to the next one, Maria.
Thank you.
So our third-party research, this is kind of, you guys, this is what sold me when I first looked at this. I was first introduced and I asked, I thought this would be a baggie that I threw away at the end of the week. And I say that with a lot of jest, but chiropractors must have a bullseye on their back that says, please sell my product. And so I had been approached by multiple people, not just direct sales, but also products sold only through physicians as well. And at the time of that, at the time I was introduced, I was taking over 20 products sold just through physicians. So I really wasn't looking for a way to feel better. I thought the way that I felt was as good as it felt to be 30 something, right? Anybody ever felt that way? Like, this is just what it's like to be 30 something. You know, this is what it's like to be 20 something. I mean, I'd never been any other age or never knew there was a way to feel different than what I was doing. And so what had me say yes was when I asked the question, is there independent research? One, she knew the answer to that question. Most people don't even know the answer to that. And two, she sent me 3 studies. I read those 3 studies eventually. And then I did my own research in PubMed and found all of these third-party research. So what happened was in 2005, there was an ABC primetime investigation done on our flagship product. And after that ABC primetime investigation, major universities and institutions started doing their own self-funded research on our product. Places like the American Heart Association studied our product. At the time of its publication, we were the only natural product ever featured in that journal. The National Institute of Aging did a 10-year study on us, and they showed we were the only natural product proven to extend lifespan in male mice. We have a p-value in one of the studies that was performed on our product showing that if 10,000 people took it, 9,999 could get the anticipated result. What the person who introduced me to this didn't know was that I loved research. I spent Saturday mornings reading research. I excelled in statistics. I love science. When my best friend had a cancer diagnosis, I was in charge of her nutrition. And at the time of her death, she was taking 9 of the 10 components of our the first 2 activators we created at therapeutic doses based on my research. So when I saw this, when I saw the power of the synergistic blends we had, when I saw research that was self-funded, that places like Harvard University, Louisiana State, Oregon State, Washington State. You guys, these are not just like small places. They did their own research on this product, and I read it and I thought to myself, if this is real, I am going to help a lot of people with activation. And what I found is that it is real. Multiple sclerosis journal. This one was incredibly important to me as a chiropractor. MS is one of those things that is progressive. And in that journal, they studied biogenetic, they studied their toxic drug in comparison to our Protandim, the 5 blends of herbs, remember? And they found that NRF2 activators are able to protect oligodendrocytes. That's the basic cell of your nervous system, you guys. Everyone you know has a brain and a spinal cord. They have oligodendrocytes. Oligodendrocytes are the most sensitive to free radicals. They're the most sensitive tissue to free radicals. And they found that, interestingly, Protandim, a dietary supplement consisting of herbal ingredients, was the most potent inducer and therefore may be the most suited as a therapeutic strategy. Have you ever heard of a drug company saying that about a natural product? And then Washington State University says potentially the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine. Wow. Oregon State University says when it finds a problem, NRF2 essentially goes back to the cellular nucleus and rings the alarm bell, where it can turn on up to 200 genes responsible for cellular repair, detoxification of carcinogens, protein and lipid metabolism, antioxidant protection, and other actions. In their report, the scientists called it a longevity assurance factor. 7 US patents on this product. 7. You can go and where these patents are housed and read them specifically on your own. But look at this: alleviating inflammation and oxidative stress in mammals. Alleviating inflammation and oxidative stress in mammals. Wow. Every symptom, condition, you can look it up. Look it up, look at the root, get back to the cells, look at what oxidative stress's role is playing in that. And when I saw this, you guys, what I did was I started Rolodexing people I thought this could help. I thought of people that were struggling with things. I couldn't quite get to that next level in my practice. I thought of friends and family that I knew were suffering with things. I told you I didn't even once think about myself, but as soon as I got activated, my health was entirely different. And it started with deeper, better sleep, waking up before my alarm went off, having extended energy throughout my day, finishing extremely hard workouts without taking breaks. Within a month, my hairdresser was like, "What are you doing?" I had new hair growth all over my head, even where women struggle to grow hair. I had changes in my skin. I had changes in my weight. I dropped pounds without doing anything different. It was incredible. Your level of health is going to be based on your level of activation, how well your cells are expressing genes that are set for longevity versus those that are set for aging. You can go to PubMed and do your own research, like I said, on oxidative stress. And so important to remember, if you hear nothing else tonight, Protandim NRF2 is something you deserve, and everyone you love and care about deserves to hear about. To hear about. But we didn't stop there. LifeVantage didn't stop there. And Dr. Maria is going to tell you about one of our next and most favorite activators that goes along with our Protandim NRF2, our liquid collagen.
Thank you, Dr. Jess. I just want to say I made this slide today. So I did the PubMed search this morning, and there were over 412 studies, medical studies, third-party research on oxidative stress proving that you do not want it. When I made the presentation last month, there were 403,000. So this is how important it is to lower oxidative stress, and Protandim is proven to do that by an average of 40% in 30 days. So let's talk collagen, because we've been recommending collagen to our patients for over 20 years for joint health, for gut health, and for overall immunity. And why that is because in our mid to late 20s, we slowly stop producing collagen like we did when we were younger and healthier. But to make matters worse, we start to break down that collagen. So that's when you start to see the signs of aging and degeneration on the outside. You see the wrinkles and the crow's feet and the saggy skin and the hair loss and the age spots, right? But you start to feel the symptoms of aging and degeneration on the inside because we're not holding on to that collagen, we're not making it anymore. So, the joint aches and pangs, the harder to recover from an injury or a workout, we're just not feeling as healthy as we once did, and decreased range of motion. So we take the True Science liquid activating collagen to make our own collagen again. So why is collagen so important? Like Dr. Jess said, she brought us back to high school biology. Cells make up tissues, tissues make up organs, and organs make up systems. Collagen is in every single tissue in our bodies, every single one. So we're talking all of our muscles, all of our tendons, all of our ligaments, all the discs of our spine, the meniscus in our knees, our blood vessels, all of our organs are made up of collagen. So think your heart, your lungs, your liver, your kidneys, your brain, that's all made up of collagen. Our bones are made up of collagen. So patients come in asking about how to improve their bone health. Collagen is so important. 90% of our gut lining is made up of collagen. So patients come in wanting to know how to improve their overall gut health. Collagen, collagen, collagen. And we know that 80% of our immune system is housed inside of our guts. So for overall improved health and immunity, collagen is everything. And Joe and I used to say, on repeat, take collagen for hair, skin, nails, joints, and gut. Hair, skin, nails, joints, and gut. It is everything. So this collagen increases collagen secretion, which means collagen production by 100%. It also increases the expression of that catalase gene that Dr. Jess talked about by 202%. So we learned that catalase is a very important antioxidant enzyme. It activates 5 types of collagen, type 1, 2, 3, 7, and 13. And by doing that, when we take the True Science liquid activating collagen, in an 8-week study, we are doubling collagen density. So we're increasing it by 100% in all of our tissues, in every single tissue that we just talked about. So we are activating collagen production. We are replenishing with 10 types of collagen production, and we're maintaining that collagen. So we're holding on to that collagen, so keeping it from being broken down. And again, every single one of our tissues. So as far as skin barrier support, the True Science Liquid Collagen activates genes that are responsible for skin hydration, so plumping up the skin, but it also keeps that water from leaking out. So there's your aesthetic benefit, which is wonderful, and I appreciate. But it also decreases the expression of those genes that are responsible for breaking down that collagen. So it's holding on to that collagen, whether you are activating it, which again, the first and only clinically proven collagen activator, or you're replenishing with it, which this does also, we're holding on to it. So we show the before and afters because there are hundreds of them. And we actually have our patients take before photos because we want them to see what's they see the changes on the outside, but we really want them to know like what's happening on the inside. What I love about the before and afters is they're not demographic specific. It does not matter your age. It does not matter if you're male or female. It does not matter your occupation. Every single person in the world benefits from them. And my friend Tori is there in the middle on the bottom. She's a nurse practitioner. She understands the science. Like this is real. Her husband, Eric, is a farrier. So a very physically demanding job. Like every single person that takes these products benefit from them. And again, remember, this goes beyond hair, skin, and nails. This is every single tissue in our bodies. And I love this slide. We take the Healthy Glow Essential Stack, which is Protandim NRF2 and the liquid activating collagen to make our own antioxidants and collagen again. And these two products together, the Healthy Glow Stack, just received a patent in the spring of this year. So by taking just these two products together, it reduces the cellular stress cycle by a third. You guys, Dr. Jess taught us, so you have cells, tissues, organs, systems, and we can reduce the cellular stress cycle by a third, which is incredible. I mean, I want to be less stressed. I know so many people on this call want to be less stressed. So think of a hamster on a hamster wheel, and the hamster is just kind of jamming around doing his thing. equate that to our cellular stress cycle, and if we can slow that by a third, don't you think our organ systems are going to be healthier? We're just going to be healthier individuals. And what I love most about this patent is these two products together affect 13,708 genes. This is so powerful. This is so important because the way we used to think about health was if something ran in the family, we were destined to get it. If my grandpa Charlie had something, my grandma Peggy had something, it was inevitable that I was going to suffer from that thing that we didn't want, right? But with these two products, we can affect gene expression. And how my genes need to be expressed are different than yours, Dr. Jess, different than Dr. Joe's. This is about personalized health and activating the correct genetic expression, the way our bodies were designed to perform and to heal and to grow and to regenerate. So here's the patent. It says it activates the innate inflammatory signaling pathways. This is what our bodies were meant to do. We're supposed to keep inflammation down at a very healthy level. Our tissues are supposed to regenerate. We're supposed to be as healthy as possible. So I think for us, I don't know about you, Dr. Jess, but I'd say probably 95% of our patients are taking the Healthy Glow Stack because it is everything. I want to go back to this really fast. Joe and I joke that bringing these cell activators into the practice was not a good business decision because patients are getting better faster. Like again, like Dr. Jess said, we don't treat, cure, mitigate, or prevent any diseases, but patients come into the office with low back pain, whether that is from spinal stenosis or degenerative disc disease or sprains and strains. How about headaches, neck pain and vertigo? How about autoimmune conditions and gut issues or issues that are affecting elbows and knees and shoulders and ankles, like everything. And like we talked about, collagen is in every single tissue of our bodies. And so these products have just been just a blessing for our patients, and we've just seen incredible treatment outcomes.
I like to call the Healthy Glow the chiropractor's BFF for that exact same reason. Because patients hold their adjustments longer, they recover faster, they have less stress, they carry less stress in their bodies, in their tissues. And you know what? That's a blessing. The best self-care we can give our patients outside of the basics, because I like to remind patients they're basically an emotional plant. They need dirt, they need sunshine, they need air, they need water, they need basic nutrients, they need real food, right? And movement. And it's just such a good support when you can help them activate their genetic expression too. And NRF2 and collagen are two just very powerful pathways to help them with. And then this guy, Axio, when you take it, it helps your brain to and your body to make brain messengers and act and energy. I like to say it's like throwing a dart at the dartboard and hitting the bullseye every time. It helps give you that CEO brain, that executive function brain where you can just focus and execute tasks a lot better. So, what we found is that most energy is actually mental fatigue to start with. And then that shows up as body fatigue and that drowsiness, that inability to function. And this also supports a positive mood and a calm state, attention, focus, memory, anything brain related. Axio is your go to.
Thank you, Dr. Jess. So LifeVantage has 7 cell activators. The Axio that Dr. Jess talked about, activating mental clarity and focus. The mind-body system activates GLP-1 production by 220%. So GLP-1s been talked about a lot in the news lately. It's a glucagon-like peptide 1 is a naturally occurring peptide hormone, and we recommend it for weight management and hormone balancing. Protandim NRF1 activates mitochondrial repair and regeneration of the mitochondria for increased and improved cellular energy. The Protandim NAD activates the production of NAD and sirtuins for cellular autophagy, or basically the removal of cellular waste and enhanced detoxification. P84 activates gut peptides that are responsible to regulate, repair, and restore balance to the gut microbiome. And then we talked about the True Science liquid activating collagen and the flagship product Protandim NRF2. This is what the power of activation is. LifeVantage has over 115 human clinical and cell studies that have been performed to date. We know that we can activate over 5,000 genes with these powerful anti-aging cell activators, and there are 15 patents on these products, with more patents that are pending coming up in the very near future. We take all of the LifeVantage products, we use all of the LifeVantage products. When you can layer on cell activation with other nutrients and things that we need, the health benefits exemplify. The skincare system has NRF2 ingredients in it, so you're helping reduce that inflammatory response on the outside because you're already doing that on the inside with Protandim NRF2. And it's so funny. People will spend more money on their pets than they will on their own health. And LifeVantage has a product called Pet Tandem that is roughly the equivalent of Protandim NRF2 for our dogs. But Joe and I like to say, if we could only take one thing for the rest of our lives, if we were limited to just one product for the absolute rest of our lives, it would be Protandim NRF2. And it always, always, always starts with yellow. So, how do you get started on your cellular health journey? Because this is what it's about. This is about creating healthy cells. Every LifeVantage product is packaged in a 30-day supply. You choose a subscription date, and the products are delivered directly to you. A customer on subscription automatically receives 10% off every month, with the opportunity to accrue and automatically apply customer rewards credits, which brings the price down over time. 80% of LifeVantage happy customers that order month after month because they want to be off of that red line and down on the blue line, and they want to decrease their oxidative stress levels. A consultant, which is what Dr. Jess is, what I am, automatically receives 20% off of their products that they're going to take every single month, which is the best pricing. But more than that, it gives us the opportunity to share LifeVantage, these products, and the opportunity with others. As doctors, we take an oath to first do no harm, but also to do everything within our scope of practice to help our patients, and to be able to recommend and provide options for an all natural solution to reducing oxidative stress, to reducing inflammatory responses, to get our patients feeling better, back to work, back to playing with their kids, chasing after their kids, grandkids, whatever it is. This has just been a blessing for us. But we can't do it alone. Like I said, we have a very busy practice. Dr. Jess has a waitlist only practice. We need people to help share this story, to help share these products, to help share this opportunity with others. This is bigger and better than Northern California's wine country or the middle of nowhere, South Dakota. This is outside of our practices and our cities and our towns and our states and even our countries. And I don't know, Dr. Jess, could you talk a little bit about this opportunity?
Definitely. So I like to say that activation is to the cell what chiropractic is to the nervous system. And when we first launched in 2000, we were on the shelves of places like Walgreens and GNC from 2005 until 2009 with what was considered to be a medical breakthrough, potentially the most preventive and therapeutic breakthrough in the history of medicine. And yet we were selling only what averaged out to less than half a jar per store, you guys, because no one knew what it was. And so they hired a marketing guru, and the marketing guru suggested direct sales. And the Nobel Prize winning guy that helped create Protandim said absolutely not, because direct sales had a negative reputation. And so they did a 6-week trial, and that won by over 600%. So the only way you hear about this is from someone else. Literally, someone has to have the courage to say, hey, will you take a look at something? And I am so glad someone did that for me. And literally, the business of this is sharing this with someone else and letting them have a choice and see if it's something they want to put in their body and see what it does for them. That's literally as simple as the business gets. And when I first started, like I told you, I didn't see it for me. I was thinking about other people. And I'm certain that by the time you've finished this, you've probably at least thought of someone that could probably possibly benefit from something that you've heard tonight, right? So that's the business. That's literally as simple as it is. As complicated as it is, the more that you do that, the more lives that you bless, the bigger your paycheck gets. The bigger your paycheck gets, the more opportunities you have. It's the same as our businesses. No matter what your business is, more money gives you more opportunities, whatever it is you choose to do with that. If it's you want to be able to give back, you want to be able to make a bigger impact. For me in my office, I can only see so many patients and I am capped out. But in this business, I can impact people that I never would have otherwise even been able to talk to if it weren't for the beauty of this business. And it's leveraged. And by that, I'm able to leverage my time. I'm able to leverage who I'm doing life and business with, both things. So, who do you want to do more life and business with? That's what you should be asking yourself with that question right now. Do you want to be able to travel? Do you want to be able to get paid while you sleep? These are things that I was not able to do. Taking a maternity leave, a paid maternity leave. I never took a paid maternity leave, you guys. And now I've traveled to places like South Africa, Thailand, Croatia, Cancun, Cozumel, Salt Lake City, all over. And traveling on someone else's dime is entirely different than traveling when you pay for it, right? So there's definitely more benefits to being here. There's also a community of like-minded people. When you're a physician, you're often an island. And what I mean by that is you get peopled out. If you're a physician, you maybe know what this is, but all day long, you're helping people, you're talking to people, you're touching people. And by the end of the day, you just really would like to unpeople. And with this business, you get to people in an entirely different way with like-minded people that are on the same mission. And you don't have to be a doctor to do it. The biggest investment you can make to become a business partner with us is less than $1, less than $1,000. That's the most you can spend. I cannot even tell you what it took me to invest in my education, my building, the land, the business loan that it took to invest to even start. It was crazy number. It was not $1,000, you guys. It was a lot more than that. And the return on investment is entirely different too. And it's what you make of it. You build this in the nooks and crannies of your life. You build it at your speed. You know, the lifetime of an opportunity when it comes to direct sales, we're still in that less than the curve mark where we still have so few distributors. We're in that beginning part of that curve where we're looking for people to share that message so we can take it into momentum. And this is the time where we are looking for those people that are willing to be a voice with us. So, I think that this business is just something, it's whatever you desire for it to be. It can be very part-time, enough to pay for your products. I have a ton of people that come on, that's their only goal. I have some that are looking for something a little more part-time. I have some that are looking to replace their income or their husband's income or to make big time money. And that's it's what are you dreaming of? Are you even dreaming? A lot of times I find a lot of my adult friends have stopped doing that. So, what do you want more of? Or what do you want less of? And maybe LifeVantage is that vehicle for you to get what it is that you desire in your life. So, that's what I would add, Maria.
That is awesome. Thank you so much. And you guys, this is fun. Like Dr. Jess said, you don't need to be a doctor. Like this is so much fun. We were able to meet Dr. Jess and her husband and four of the girls on an incentive trip that we all earned to Alaska last year. I mean, that wasn't on my list of things to do. To be able to do this with my friend Christy and my friend Tori, I mean, this is just a lot of fun. And to do something that's helping others, to be of service to others, that's what this is about. So I want to Thank you, Dr. Jess, for being here with me tonight. This is great. I want to thank everyone for being here. I will stop the recording and we can answer questions if that works for everyone.